Welcome back, everybody, to the Vouz show. And today we're going to talk about getting old, but about dying. So we're going to talk about ghosts on the first section, and on the other section we're going to talk about
juggling your career and being a parent. Work-life balance.
Work-life balance, yeah. This show is not sponsored by Dunder Mifflin or Bird Rock Cafe. I just want to thank you for the free coffee because I won $100. Yay, clink. All right, so starting up with ghosts. Do you believe in ghosts?
Absolutely, absolutely.
You ever seen a ghost?
Not like, oh my God, there's a ghost in front of my eyes, but I've had signals.
Signals?
Like.
What kind of signals?
Something, I didn't see something, something wasn't there, and then I come back and it's there.
Those are elves. Gnomes.
Well, I think they're ghosts.
Okay.
But like good ghosts.
Okay.
You know, like I don't believe in bad ghosts.
There's no bad ghosts. Okay.
Yeah.
I do believe in bad ghosts. There's good ghosts and bad ghosts,
Okay,
for
so
sure.
let's work on that. All right, so what do you mean by that?
So, I started watching ghost stories videos, and there's a particular great channel called Nuke Top 5. And he compiles ghost stories and ghost videos from around the world. You know, I could see videos where it's like, yeah, that could be edited, that's fake, oh, that's bull. But then as you dive deeper and go down that rabbit hole, I start seeing some stuff. And it kind
like
of
unexplainable stuff?
Yeah, things that I can't edit. Like I would think like BFX or After Effects or, yeah, you can't edit that stuff. So it started seeing like, there's good ghosts, there's bad ghosts.
Like what? Can you give us an example, or maybe like an actual video that people can like look up? Because I don't believe in ghosts in that way. So
no, there's okay. So let's start with the most popular one. There's one that's called The Dude. I'll put the video link. The Shadow Dude, and that guy, it's a guy that lives in a mansion. It's not a mansion, it's a house, but he lives with him. It's a blob. Now the thing is, I've seen that in America, like in Minnesota, and then I see the same thing in Japan. Then I see the same thing in the Middle East. There's shadow people. It's like, okay, there's a pattern here.
But what is it like? Is it like a person died, his energy
it's
came
just
out?
A shadow. It's just a shadow.
But what is it?
We don't know. It's just a shadow. Now there's white ghosts that I see. So white ghosts are transparent and they're just figments.
Like Casper?
Kind of, but it's kind of like the easiest way to edit those ghosts are just superimposing one over the top.
Okay.
So those Casper kind of videos are very easy to edit. It's when they interact with the environment that's freaky. Like when they're with a baby, or when they hit dogs, or move stuff, and that's not cool.
When they hit dogs?
Yeah, hit dogs. You know, judge for yourself, but yeah, there's stuff out there.
I mean, okay, let's just put it out there. I'm Vietnamese. Vietnamese people are very, very superstitious. So if you ask probably the majority of my, family, they do believe in all these, right, spirits and whatever you want to call them. I maybe don't personally believe in all of those things. Maybe I have to see them myself. I've never seen them. But I do believe in the concept of a ghost, meaning we die and then something happens to us after death. Like we can linger after death in like an alternate universe. And this is like totally getting really deep with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for us, we very much celebrate the dead. So like if someone dies, we celebrate their death. Kind of like Day of the Dead, right? We're Mexican
Right,
culture.
Dia de los Muertos. Yeah.
And when we need something, we do pray to our ancestors to help us because we feel like their spirit or their ghosts still linger. They come and go wherever they come from, right? But in that aspect, that's how I view ghosts. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Is there any traditional ghost stories?
Traditional ghost stories?
Like in Mexico, we have La Llorona.
No, I mean, I feel like they're very regional. So there's a region in this little area where my uncle lives. They have a forest, and they believe that there was this little like kind of sinkhole, and the children always would die there. And people believe that it is
Haunted.
haunted.
Yeah.
And that, it's a typical story. It's some woman who lost her child and therefore she is taking these children. I don't personally believe in that, you know, but yes, to answer your question.
Yeah.
We do have, you know, stories like that.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think in my logical side would be, yes, there's ghosts, but it might work like a VHS or like the old cassette players. They're magnetic. So when a house is haunted, I feel that there was so much emotional energy that it got impregnated in the walls.
Okay.
And that allows that moment to repeat itself. But that apparition is not conscious. It's not conscious. You know, it's just a recording. It's just a hologram.
Okay.
But then there's other ghosts that definitely are, you know, malignant and conscious, and you know.
It's hard to say. Off the bat, I'm like, no, I don't really believe in all of that, right? But if you were to ask me, Vu, there's this house that this dude killed his wife and his children, and he killed himself.
Yes.
20 years ago, would you spend a night there? And the answer is, hell no. I am definitely not gonna sleep in that house,
Dude.
even for $1 million, right?
So there's a story, I don't know if you've seen this documentary on Netflix about a guy that killed his family.
No, I haven't.
So there's a
I'm
documentary.
surprised I haven't watched it, but.
So he kills his family.
Okay.
I'm not gonna spoil it. He kills his family. There's a video on YouTube, and it's still going on, that it's a cop camp.
Okay.
And they go in, and I get goosebumps because it's scary.
Should zoom in on his goosebumps.
And they're recollecting stuff, you know, and it's just a sweet lady recollecting the items of the deceased. You can hear the voices of the kids. And it's not prefabricated, it's a cop cam, and you can hear the kids. Like, so yes, there's something. You can't make it up.
Do you guys believe in ghosts?
I don't know.
You're saying
Yeah, we'll wrap that up right there. Look at the videos, leave your comments, let us know what you think. So off to our next topic.
Work-life balance. Work-life balance. In a nutshell, how would I describe it? It fucking sucks.
Yeah, it does.
You know, you've basically got two jobs that you have to do. Not that having a family is a job, but in a way it is, right? You've got these responsibilities and you've got these things to do.
Yeah.
Then you want it to thrive, but then you're also trying to build your career. It's only 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week. How the hell do you do it all?
You have to. You know, from the get-go, you kind of have to.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have a choice.
You have a choice.
You gotta work and you gotta take care of your family, right?
And I think that pivots into why it sucks, because you have to.
Yeah, you know, like today, I'm here doing this show, but at the same time, I feel guilt. And I think that's the main thing. It's not even like the fatigue of having to do both, it's the guilt. And I don't know, I can't speak for you, but for me, it's the guilt that like, it's right here and it eats at me. Because right now I'm thinking like, I should be at home and making dinner for my daughter, right? But I'm here.
Well,
not that I don't love being here, but then, you know, it's like.
Well, that comes down to duty. You know, how do you balance, you know, purpose and then duty?
Okay.
Because there's duty that you have to do these things. You know, you have to take care of your plants. You have to feed your child. You know, that's duty.
Yeah.
But then on the other side, it's like purpose. There's a purpose. Why? Because there's love behind it. You know, that you have to take care of your child because you love them.
I mean, yes, of course you love them. And then, like, okay, for you, what makes it worth it for you? You know, I know this dude works all the time, right? You work the long hours.
I lost my hair.
He lost his hair. Like last week he had a full head of hair, you know, so, but he's also a great father and husband. But you do it obviously because it's worth it. Otherwise you wouldn't do this job.
There's purpose behind it. Yeah, I think it's driven. It's that little moment where maybe you're washing the dishes. I don't do it all the time, so Eileen's gonna say something. But it's when you're doing something that's like, I gotta do this, but there's purpose behind it because, you know, you wanna be a good husband. You know, you wanna set a good example. You just do it, you know, and
you should be doing it because you want to do it because you love washing the dishes so much.
No, that's very Sheldon. Like, so I have to want to do it, so I know how to do it, so I want to do it.
Yeah. Family, that's an easy answer, an easy question to answer. Like, why do you do it? Because you have to, because you have a purpose behind it. But what about your career? I mean, you can just kind of put your career in the back burner and focus on life, but we don't, right? Because the career is really important to us as well.
Yeah.
So, what makes it worth it? Like, why do you do that? Why do you have to balance it?
Well,
right?
that is it's a good question because, see, purpose for me would be, aside from, because having a career could be very egotistical. You know, I want me to grow in my business so I can be rich and have wealth and the car and this and the truck, whatever it is, right? Whatever your bet is. But you find that you will achieve that level and you're going to be unhappy.
Okay.
And that happens to a lot of artists. That's why they use drugs. That's why they're unhappy, wealthy people, because they have everything they want and then feel unfulfilled.
Okay.
But I believe that on the other spectrum of that is giving to others. And it's not charity. It's not about it's that through the talents that are given to you, you are able to fulfill a need of someone. Because we're humans, we're a community, we're social. We have to help each other.
So it's almost like a second family?
Could be, yeah.
Same concept, right?
So you bring others up with what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean,
that's purpose. That's how our career should take off.
Yeah, I get that question all the time. You know, as you know, my daughter's only 2, so I have kind of intermittently taken time off from work to take care of her so that my husband can go work, right? It's kind of typical. And I can technically keep doing that, right? Because financially we don't need necessarily for me to go to work. Yet it can always help, but yet I still work. So the question is, if you're not doing it for financial purposes, even though it can always help, like why do I do it, right?
Ideally, it should be a consequence having those finances.
Right. And so it's exactly what you said. You know, like it gives me a deeper sense of purpose. I need to create.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right. I need to create. And then I realize as I get older that in order to be a good parent, a good wife, good husband, whatever, you need to be happy, right? You need to fulfill yourself because you can't pour from an empty cup, essentially. I don't know if you've ever heard of that analogy before.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
Yes, absolutely.
And I've come to realize that, why they're both so important. But therefore, that's why it makes it so difficult, right? Because now you've got to juggle the two. But
I'm going to insert video games in here. So
okay.
There's a game called The Sims. I don't know if anyone's played it. So The Sims is a very
my house
good.
Was super fat. So awesome.
So in The Sims, you have this diagram, you know, of work-life balance.
Right.
You know, so they get up and you got to go pee, otherwise you're not happy. Oh shit, you got to go. All right, you need to eat. And then they can become very unfulfilled, depending on their personality archetypes and all this stuff. That they're not happy. They're doing. So you gotta balance all of that, or like click, and then fulfillment, I did it. They're very successful. And then back in your life, it's like, well, shit. I gotta work out. I gotta eat right.
Yeah.
I gotta get sales, more clients. I gotta sharpen my skills. I gotta rehearse in piano, and you gotta do all these things. You gotta have the energy, man.
No.
You know, and the thing is, we're in the middle generation. You know, our boomers already have the money.
Yeah.
They don't have the energy. Millennials have all the energy, but they don't have the money.
Right.
And we're just in the middle. Like
don't have energy nor money, so
exactly. So we're just
that's why we're here.
It's a work-life balance, yeah. So we can later have the money, hopefully, because the retirement thing is really hard. So I think the American dream is evolving, and we're doing. That's another topic. But eventually, we're gonna get there where we'll have the money but no energy. Or you will have more energy because you're investing in your fitness right now.
Right. I mean, that's the hope that we do, right? And that we do all these things, and hopefully we have this sort of, our perspective hopefully is different from our parents.
Very much
for them it's very much like nose down, head down, work, line up your ducks, you got all this, and then now you can live in your retirement, right? And then for us, well, I guess I can't speak for you, but me, I realize like I don't want to spend the majority of my life doing that and then enjoying it later, because now your kids are grown and and now you're married. It's like you're married for 20 years and you realize you haven't had a true conversation with your significant other in a really long time, and so I feel like I need to dial back a little bit and kind of find that balance.
True.
Right?
Yeah. Although I'm gonna be a happy old man if God gives me life, but because I'm gonna be playing video games.
Is that what makes you happy?
That makes me happy. Yeah. I'm playing all these video games. Yeah.
I don't know what makes me happy.
Creating.
Yeah. I'm a naturally sad person. We've discussed this already.
Yeah.
But in my sadness, I create. See, so it's like this fulfillment cycle. But yeah, man, it's hard.
So leave us your comments on work-life balance. It's important. And tell us the next topic that you want us to talk about.
We were supposed to have a guest today.
Yeah, you know who you are.
No doubt.
Watching you. Yeah, no call-outs. All right. Well, that's it for us. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for watching and following us.
Yep. We will see you guys next time. As he said, let us know what you guys want to talk about. If you want to be on our show, everyone is welcome.
Yep.
We'll see you next time.